Sometimes the hardest battle isn't with the world. It's with the voice in your head saying you're not good enough. That voice gets louder every time something doesn't work out. Many people listen to it and stop trying. But a simple piece of advice can silence it forever. Once upon a time, in a quiet town surrounded by tall pine trees, there lived a young man named Ethan who dreamed of becoming a writer. Every day he sat at a small wooden desk and filled page after page with stories, ideas, and thoughts. But no matter how hard he tried, his writing never seemed good enough. Sometimes the words felt clumsy. Sometimes the endings didn't make sense. Sometimes he read his own pages and felt embarrassed by them. While other writers in town published books and received praise, Ethan barely shared his work with anyone. One evening, after tearing up another notebook in frustration, Ethan sat by the window staring at the pile of crumpled papers on the floor. "What's the point?" he whispered. "I try so hard, but nothing I write feels right." His elderly neighbor, Mr. Harrison, a retired teacher who spent most of his days reading on his porch, heard him through the open window. "Ethan," he called gently, "come sit with me for a moment." Ethan stepped outside with tired eyes. Mr. Harrison handed him a warm cup of tea. "When I was young," he said slowly, "I wrote thousands of pages. Many were dull, many were messy. But I kept writing, not because I knew anyone would read them, but because every page made me better than the one before." Ethan looked puzzled. "But if the pages aren't good, aren't they just wasted?" Mr. Harrison smiled softly. "Words don't worry about becoming masterpieces. They simply ask to be written. And your mind doesn't grow sharper by waiting for perfect ideas. It grows stronger by returning to the page again and again." The next morning, Ethan returned to his desk. This time he didn't think about publishing. He didn't worry about mistakes. He simply focused on the quiet rhythm of writing and the feeling of turning thoughts into sentences. He wrote one page, then another. Some still sounded awkward, but slowly his thoughts became clearer and his voice steadier. After several months, something began to change. A traveler visiting the town noticed a short story Ethan had posted on a small community board. It was simple, calm, and honest. "This is wonderful," the traveler said. "How long did it take you to learn to write like this?" Ethan paused for a moment and smiled. "Not days, not weeks. Years of unfinished pages." The traveler shared his work with others, and gradually more people became curious about Ethan's stories. They didn't come because his writing was perfect. They came because his words felt real and sincere. Ethan never became a famous author, but he became steady, confident, and quietly proud. Not because every page he wrote was flawless, but because he never stopped writing. Years later, a young girl asked him, "How do you write such beautiful stories?" Ethan shook his head and answered gently, "I don't try to be perfect. I try to be honest. Every page I write is a promise that effort matters more than results." This story reminds us that success isn't measured only by what you achieve, but by how faithfully you keep showing up, even when no one notices. Results may appear slowly or sometimes disappear entirely, but effort builds something deeper. Effort shapes your character. Effort strengthens your skills. Effort creates a life you can respect, even on the days when nothing seems to work. So if you are working hard and still waiting for results, don't give up. Keep writing your pages, keep learning your craft, keep moving forward step by step. Because the world may celebrate your success someday, but your own heart will be grateful today for the courage you showed by simply continuing. If this story reminded you to trust your journey, please like the video, share it with someone who needs patience, and subscribe for more simple stories with timeless lessons.